Hi, welcome back to Siblings A and J Gardening. I'm Angela and I garden with my brother Jeffrey. We were working in the garden today and I was in there yesterday and I came across this huge zucchini, which will be really good to make zucchini bread with. I haven't made it all year. I haven't made it this summer yet. So the recipe is very simple. It's 3 cups of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of baking soda, and a teaspoon of baking powder, a tablespoon of cinnamon, 3 eggs, 1 cup of chopped nuts, if you want nuts in it. If you don't want nuts in it, you don't have to. And 2 cups of shredded zucchini. And 2 1/4 cups of sugar. And I use brown sugar. I think it gives it a really good flavor. And 3 tablespoons of vanilla. Let's see. I always add extra nuts in mine. I have 2 cups of nuts here, and I usually put it in a little baggie and hit it with the spoon. And my oven's already preheated at 325, and your zucchini breads, every oven's different, but anywhere from 40 minutes to an hour. And this should make 2 loaves, 8 by 4 inch pans. I can't find my other loaf pan, so I'm just going to put my extra one in a cake pan. But I'm going to keep shredding this till I get my 2 cups. And then, like I said, I shoot for 3. I always deviate. I critique it to what I like, and I like zucchini running all through the bread. My mother has a really good... she used to make a really good zucchini bread. So I'm going to have to find her recipe. And when she made hers, she would make a sauce to go on top of it. I never do a sauce. I just eat it like it is. But I was craving something sweet, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to make some zucchini bread. So when I get up in the morning, I can have a cup of coffee and a slice of my zucchini bread. We're getting ready to pull up the zucchini plants anyway. They're about run their course. It's late July. I did pick some more cucumbers today. I said I was finished with the cucumbers, but as I was going through the garden, I saw some, and I just hate to leave it. You know, it's food. So I think I'm going to do another run of pickles. I don't know what happened. The last 2 batches of pickles, I had the 14-day pickles, and I think I forgot to put the salt in there because I had to throw away every pickle. So that was not good, even though I've already made pickles twice this summer. I was hoping to get 2 more batches, but like I said, I went ahead and picked what was in the garden. And there may be some more, but the weeds were so thick I wasn't going to go through it. If I saw the cucumber out in the open, that's when I went ahead and picked it. And I probably have a little less than a half a bushel, so that'll be enough to do what I want to do. And my brother dug up the potatoes today. I'm going to post a video on that soon. We didn't get as many potatoes as we normally get. And he's thinking maybe because he planted them in the same area as he did last year. Don't know. But we'll take anything we get. Okay, see if this is... I think that's good. I'm not even going to measure because I think that's good. Wipe my hands off. And I'm going to put this to the side. I don't know. I may shred a little more. Like I said, I always like extra zucchini. So I'm going to shred just a little more. Let this come out. I love zucchini bread. I like all types of bread, but I like nuts in my bread. Gives it extra flavor to me. extra flavor and texture. And like I said, for those of you that don't like nuts in their bread, because I know several people that don't like nuts in theirs, then you don't have to put it in there. And I will say, I really like this recipe. I don't particularly care for the zucchini bread that has lemon in it. I just don't care for that. I like this one better. Okay. So I'm gonna put that to the side. Okay, I've got my zucchini shredded. And I will tell you, you sift all the dry ingredients. So I sifted 3 cups of all-purpose flour. I mixed in a teaspoon of baking soda. I mixed in a teaspoon of baking powder. And I also mixed in a teaspoon of salt and a tablespoon of cinnamon. And I just sifted all of that. Right now I'm getting ready to mix the wet ingredients. It's 2 1/4 cup of brown sugar and 3 eggs. But as I was saying, I really like this recipe. I've had the zucchini bread with the lemon in it, and it's okay, but I prefer this one. And like I said, most people use half a cup of brown sugar or a cup of brown sugar. They mix and match. I just use straight brown sugar. And I'm adding 1 egg at a time. And I'm just going to cream these together. And my last egg. And like I said, I'm going to try to find my mother's recipe for her zucchini bread. It was really good too. And like I said, she always made a sauce for her bread. And I don't know exactly what she put in the sauce, but it was good. And I'm just going to add about 1.5 cups maybe. Of my dry mixture. I've been wanting to make zucchini bread all summer long. I just haven't had a chance to make it. Everything seems to be coming in the garden. I have tomatoes in the refrigerator waiting for me to do something with them. I don't know whether I'm going to make the sauce or just start canning whole tomatoes. And then maybe, oh, I forgot one thing, and a cup of oil. I forgot about the oil. And it's sitting right here. I usually add the oil before I add the dry ingredients. But I'll run through the recipe one more time after I have everything mixed in. But like I was saying, everything's starting to come in the garden. We're finished with the squash. I mean, there'll be some before we can get it up within the next few days. But all in all, it's starting to burn up. The cucumbers are pretty well done as well. There's a lot of blooms on them, but they're really not coming to turning into cucumbers. And like I said, my brother dug up the potatoes today. And we didn't get as many as we normally get. And he's thinking it's probably because we planted in the same place where he had them last year. But that's okay. We'll know better next year. He did pick one of the ears of corn, but it was too early to pick. Guess we just got too eager. And then I'm going to stir in the zucchini and the nuts. Try to get all of that off if I can. And we also picked green beans today. This is the first time in probably 3 years that we've been able to sit down and pick a bushel of green beans in one setting. The past few years, and even the beginning of this year when they started coming in, it was just, you could pick maybe a fourth of a bushel, if that much. So I don't know what happened, but like I said, they're really loaded this time. We're pretty happy about that. I've already put away green beans twice. Let me get my zucchini. Get my hands clean here. And I'll show you all what we got in the potato-wise. But it was nothing like we got last year. I mean, we had so much last year. I'm just going to stir this in. Oops, making a mess. I don't remember my mom making zucchini bread as a kid. She did make it when I was grown. So I don't know whether she didn't know there was a recipe or whether she just didn't make it. I'm not sure. But I know she liked it. We had a relative in the family whose wife used to make it. And she really liked her bread and got the recipe from her. You know what? This is probably 3 cups that I'm putting in here. But that is perfectly fine. Okay, that's mixed up pretty well. And sometimes I save some extra nuts and put on top. But I think I'm just going to put it all in the mixture. Okay, and I have my grease pans here. This is my loaf pan, and this is just a little casserole dish. Let's see. Now I'm going to get a spoon to do this with, or a cup. I usually grease the cup as well, so it's easy to get the excess out, but I didn't do it this time. And I'm probably going to fill this loaf pan up halfway. I'm not going to fill it up all the way because the bread is going to rise. Maybe a little more. Okay. And I usually get my air bubbles out. And I'll set this over here. I may have needed a bigger pan over here. And you can make cupcakes with this as well. And I do have some little cupcake things, but I prefer it like a bread myself. And for those of you that decide to try this recipe, leave me a comment if you like it or how your bread turned out for you. And I will tell you all as well, this is how I make my banana bread too. The same exact recipe, but instead of zucchini, you just use bananas. And I put nuts in my bread as well, my banana bread. I think nuts just add so much to it versus a plain old piece of bread. But everybody's different. And everybody likes different things, different ways. There's no right or wrong. Get my hands off. Okay, get my air bubbles out of this. Okay, I'm gonna put these two in the oven and they'll cook anywhere from 40 to 60 minutes, just depends on your oven. And my oven is heated at 325. And just stick toothpicks in it to see if it's done or not, just like you do with the cake. Gotta get these in here. Okay, I'm gonna clean up and then I'll come back and show you what the bread looks like. But I'm gonna go through the recipe for all of you one more time because I forgot to tell you about the oil until the middle of the mixing up everything. You're gonna have 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. I forgot to add the vanilla, but that's too late now. And 3 tablespoons of vanilla. I hate it when I do that. I may take it out and try to mix a little vanilla in there. But, and 2 1/4 cup of brown sugar. I use brown sugar instead of white sugar. You can use white sugar if you want, or you can mix it up, whatever you like to do. And 3 eggs. Oven preheated to 325. Hope you... Okay, I took them out of the oven and added the vanilla to them. Wish me luck. I hope they don't stick. I had them greased really well, but I don't know if I disturbed it or not adding the vanilla. Well, once again, I'm Angela, Siblings A and J Gardening. If you like this recipe or think you like this recipe, try it and see what you think. Leave me a comment and please share, like, and subscribe. Be blessed.